Did you ever read To Kill a Mockingbird in school? It's a novel hailed for its theme of justice and was named one of the books that shaped America by the Library of Congress.
All men are created equal.
But it now finds itself on the list of the most challenged books in the country. The title has been pulled from numerous classrooms, along with Catcher in the Rye, The Bluest Eye, The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn, and many more. But it's not just the classics that are being threatened. More and more, books addressing themes of race and gender are being restricted in classrooms and libraries across America. Book banning is nothing new, but it's accelerated rapidly in recent years, according to PEN America. So how did this all start, and why is it worse now than before? And what is more dangerous, reading a book or banning it? Although censorship is as old as the written word, the first challenged book case in America arose in 1650 with The Meritorious Price of Our Redemption, a pamphlet that argued against John Calvin's teachings. This outraged the Puritan Calvinist community, who then burned his pamphlet and banned it, the first event of its kind in what would later become the U.S. About 200 years later, Harriet Beecher Stowe published Uncle Tom's Cabin, a novel many historians see as the first to experience a ban on a national scale. But there have been more bans today than ever before in recent history. In 2020, 273 books were targeted. In 2021, that number was 1,597. The dilemma that parents and instructors are facing is finding the right balance between protecting their children and giving them the freedom to choose what perspectives they explore. At its core, the book banning movement is a battle for youth. Nearly 50% of titles being challenged are intended for young adult audiences, and 30% middle school aged or younger. This, of course, influences what is banned. The vast majority of books targeted for removal feature an LGBTQ+ character or character of color. Out of the top 10 most challenged books of 2021, half of these are due to an LGBTQ+ character or focus. Even a plotline as simple as two male penguins making a family together has been labeled as obscene and unsuitable for children. So, all of these books with themes surrounding race and sexuality are being challenged. But why? Isn't there a growing movement in our culture towards openness and inclusivity? Well, with any growing movement comes a growing counter-movement. The majority of groups pushing for book bans appear to have been formed in 2021, according to a PEN America study. Groups such as Moms for Liberty and No Left Turn in Education share lists of books to challenge, swarm school board meetings, and even file complaints against teachers and librarians. But is quieting the conversations brought about from literature, regardless of the perspectives, a fair thing to do? To dig deeper into this question and others, I honed in on the impact of book banning in Tennessee, the state with the fourth highest amount of challenged books. In light of recent bans and a new bill passed, making it easier to challenge books in schools, the Nashville Public Library has fought against book banning with a Freedom to Read campaign, encouraging fair access to challenged books with a special edition library card.
Anytime you restrict a viewpoint, you're denying someone the opportunity to learn more about the world and potentially enrich their lives for the better. We have had especially teenagers come in, and they're very upset when they hear about a book being challenged or trying to be pulled out of the schools because this author, looks just like me, lived a similar experience that I had, maybe something along those lines, and now they're saying we can't read that. When you attempt to challenge or ban books, you're not saying, oh, well, I don't want my child reading that. You're saying, I don't want me or any child reading that. And we don't believe anybody has the right to make those decisions. When you start challenging or banning one author or one topic, where does it end? It's a very slippery slope when you start saying, well, this is for the here and now, and that's what we mean. Oftentimes, that's not how it turns out.
Reading is the best way to grow empathy for those who are different than us. So why not encourage our youth to read To Kill a Mockingbird, The Catcher in the Rye, The Bluest Eye? The greatest danger would be to inhibit the next generation from hearing diverse perspectives. As Fahrenheit 451 says, there is more than one way to burn a book, and the world is full of people running about with lit matches.